Accelerate this one because we are running about 7 minutes behind, so I'm going to pump this out as quickly as I can, which will be difficult because there's so many things to talk about in your speech. Firstly, that's the first time we've ever had a speech which has had several tiers of discussion. So there was obviously the opening to the speech, which led into the role play, and I think there was the option to have sort of a bit of a follow-up to sort of conclude with, but you sort of didn't jump on that one a little bit. That was maybe a choice that you made. In terms of the things I liked, there was a lot about this speech that I can talk about for days that I liked. I enjoyed the fact that when you first came up, we were introduced with a PowerPoint presentation. That wasn't necessarily something that third time's going to be a charm to watch. And the fact that you used the Toastmasters slides as well, I thought that was really quite professional and really colored the presentation that you gave. I don't think we've really done that too much before, and it was interesting to see. The big opening, everyone's already talked about it already, and a lot of these points will be duplicated because you all stole my damn evaluation. But that was one of the big things that I noticed, is again, rarely we see these big engaging introductions, and I thought that was really good for beginning the engagement with everyone in the room. Your eye contact. That was something else that I really noticed, and it's something that I look for quite often, is I like seeing in a speech someone that I can visually see that they're acknowledging with their eyes every single person in the room. And I could see your scan was very almost organized and systematic, and I thought, oh wow, that's, again, keeping up with that engagement. You did the same thing vocally. Now this is just the fact that your voice can fill a room really well as taking those times to put a pause into your speech. I noticed at one point you waited for some feedback from the group. You sort of waited, no one put their hand up, but you didn't jump in, and an extrovert like myself wouldn't have been able to deal with the silence at all. And you waited, and then had that extra impact when people came in. You sort of called people out on it. I really enjoyed that as well. Now the two things I found that could have been a bit of an improvement was the first, now fully acknowledging that you had a slide and you can't stand in front of it or else you're going to sear out your retinas. You stood off a little bit, probably too far to the side. I would recommend maybe taking another step in, getting as close to that slide as possible without interfering with your visual aids. The second thing, and this is something that I've sort of picked up from my acting background rather than public speaking, but when you discuss with Will, your feet were pointed very much towards him, as you would in a conversation. But in a role play in an open forum, I'd recommend extending one foot out so that you're discussing with a person, but the room is still engaged at the same time. Food for thought. Finally, my final top piece of bread of the compliment sandwich, as Stu said earlier, I like the fact that you continue to reference all of my introduction as well. It's often a job of the Toastmaster to be able to grab at people's speeches and to tie it all together, but the fact that you were doing this in the speech added the continuity to the entire setting. I still have 3 more points, but I'm going to have to write them down because I know I'm going to run short of time. Overall, incredible. I wish I'd heard it when I was trying to talk to girls in bars back when I was 12 years old. Thank you.